What's up, guys? How's it going, everybody? My name's Blitzwinger, ladies and gentlemen. It is time. Finally, 2 million subscriber celebration time. We're going to go on ahead and take a look at the entire setup here in just 1 second. So, of course, I hope you guys will stick around for that. Do not forget to go on ahead and drop a like. Let's get rocking and let's get a rolling. Alright, so that is the door. If you're wondering what this is just the cord from the microphone, just so it's not dangling and hitting the camera and such. But here's the door, and the last time that I did a setup, I actually I had the entire office basically set up in a room. Now it's the entirety of the basement, so it's a lot bigger and it looks a lot more epic. Now, with that in mind, of course, if there are any parts about the basement that you don't like or you think look cool or whatever it might be, either one, let me know in the comment section below. I'm actually very curious about that. But let's start here. These are the DTOF displays here. So as you can see, we have a lot of cool figures and some statues and such all throughout, including probably my favorite Lego theme, which is the Speed Champions. Actually, I just realized, I don't know why that is not turned on. That's weird. Huh. Maybe the battery got worn down or something? I didn't realize that. Okay, I'm going to need to replace the batteries on this one. Regardless, though, as you can see in the display, we got up at the top a few WWF/WWE championships, so that's pretty cool. That one is probably the coolest just because it's so old school. Then we got a few displays here. So we have the X-Men right there. Over here we have the Spider-Man villains. Then you've got Spider-Men, basically kind of like a Spider-Verse, I should say, because Spider-Gwen is in there as well. So that's pretty cool looking. Got Batman right down there, a few car designs, Superman. Down below that, you got Predator and Terminator, a few more vehicles. Then you got the Merc with the Mouth himself, Heath Ledger's Joker, a few Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super displays, and some Fortnite. Now, this was something that I had got for Christmas time, and man, oh man, what a fun, absolutely crazy game this is. This is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one-up arcade, or arcade one-up, sorry, I should say, cabinet. It's actually a ton of fun. The one thing that is kind of annoying, though, I'm thinking to probably upgrade this thing using the Raspberry Pi computer, because honestly, as cool as it is to have 2 games, it does get kind of old, and after a little while you kind of hope to get some more games. So that's what I want to try to do, is upgrade this into a cabinet that will be more than just Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, but in the meantime, it's definitely an absolute blast. Now over here, oh, whoa, what is this? Well, what might this be? That's a pretty sweet looking hoodie. I don't know what that's all about. But over here, I basically have just like a seating area slash watching movies area. And yeah, I am trying to learn how to play guitar, so that's something I'm working on. It's a lot more difficult than I ever thought it would be. And I have a newfound respect for people who play instruments, because there's quite a bit of repetitive work that needs to be done in order to be able to play that. But regardless, of course, over here we can see the television setup. So you got the TV itself as well as the speakers and all that. Then we got 2 statues, which we'll look at in just a moment. Oh yeah, I guess above that, I should say, these are the only pops that I have left. I had a lot more previously, I think, even in the tour, but I did get rid of most of them, and most of them ended up going to Value Village and a few other like charity type stores. So, oh, and the other cool thing is that those are customs right there, made by me. So that's Blitzbot, and sort of supposed to be myself. Now, with that in mind, I did get the Bat villains all framed up. I think they look really cool this way, so I just need to hang that up. And then you've got Iron Man right here. This is, I think it's a Sideshow collectible statue, I'm pretty sure. And then over on this side, you can see Batman. This is the Prime 1 Sideshow collectible statue, or I mean Prime 1 made it, I think, and then Sideshow was selling them as well. So that's the Arkham design for Batman. Then over here, you got kind of a nostalgia trip with a lot of the original Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh cards that I have. Yes, I know they're not in the greatest shape, but these are the cards from like my personal collection, some of the stuff that I have left over. So because of that, I figured I'd put them up for display, and some of my favorite cards from childhood. And then over here, boom shakalaka. This is kind of the rest of the room, but we'll look at that in just a sec. First, we've got the epic Marvel Legends display right here. So I did open up the doors just because when there is glass, it's very reflective. So they're not perfectly organized, to be quite honest, but they're somewhat organized. So this is the Iron Man shelf with a little bit of an exception, but for the most part, it's an Iron Man shelf with a whole bunch of different armors. Then down below that, there's a pretty random shelf, including a random flight tent that doesn't even have any characters on it, so we'll need to fix that. But you can see a few different characters there. You can point out some of your favorites in the comment section below if you'd like. So there you are. Then down below that, you have some Predators. So these are different designs who all look pretty cool. Then below that, you got some Batmobiles, as well as some more Speed Champion stuff, and Deadpool chilling down there. Okay, so let's work our way over to the next shelf. This is the miscellaneous shelf. It's just a bunch of stuff that doesn't really fit anywhere else, so it just kind of gets all put together for no apparent reason. So you got like Bruce Lee, Naruto, Kratos. Like this one doesn't make any sense, but it's a cool shelf just because it's got so many different characters that I find to be cool. Then this shelf is somewhat organized. It's supposed to be pretty much kind of like characters that have ever been Avengers or part of the Avengers team or something along those lines. So you've got a ton to select there from. Then below that, this is kind of a Spider-Man shelf. So again, there's some exceptions to that rule because again, I'm just running out of space for some figures, but this is probably the most organized shelf, and this is the MCU shelf. So over on the right-hand side, you can see a bunch of the villains right here from the MCU movies. And then as we slowly but surely work our way to the left, you'll notice that we've got Tony and Thanos kind of representing the biggest hero and the biggest villain, I guess, in the series. And then you've got a bunch of the heroes over on this side as well. Then below that, you've got another kind of a miscellaneous sort of shelf. And yes, of course, there's some MCU designs in here as well, like, what's his name, Korg and Thor back there. So there's some exceptions to that rule. A few Hellboy comics, which I've started to just read now. Then, for those who are like, where the heck are all the Batman collectibles? Well, there they are. So this is a pretty random collection of Batman-related figurines up here. It's just basically no rhyme or reason, just anything that's related to Batman or any of the Bat Universe characters. And then below that, you've got some more Marvel Legends. Again, some of these are Marvel Selects as well, like that Abomination in the back there. That's a Marvel Select figurine, or figure, sorry. Don't you dare call them dolls, right? Isn't that what people say? And then down below that, for those of you who are fans of My Hero Academia, I'm sure you'll find these to be quite cool. So there you go. And those obviously need to be painted because right now it's just cardboard and it looks kind of ugly. Then down here, the last shelf is the Arkham shelf, or it's supposed to be Arkham with a few exceptions obviously, but for the most part, it's all Arkham related figures and character designs. So that's pretty neat. Then over here on the wall, we've got some cool little displays. So you've got the 100,000 badges, or plaques, sorry. I do have the 1 million one, I just haven't been able to hang it up because it's really heavy. And then you've got the very original design. The first time that the Blitzbot was ever painted, this is what he looked like. So from there, we transition over to this side of the room, but first, boom shakalaka. You got this really cool display of Venom. This is probably the most eye-catching piece in the entire collection. Anytime anyone walks in here, this is the first thing that they are gravitated to and are impressed by. It's a pretty ridiculously cool looking Prime 1 statue of Venom, and he does look quite spectacular, along with a nice little Amazing Fantasy canvas right above that. Over here, this is pretty much the photo station, like if I ever need to take pictures for Instagram, or let's say we are doing a review or something, or an unboxing, this is usually where that would take place. That's why the tripod is there. So you just place the tripod, and then of course this has lights up at the top there, so it lights up. So there you go. Oh, subscribe and like. Look at that. Mario told you to do that. Then over here, this is all stuff basically for customization. So you got like paints, different brushes, just a whole bunch of stuff for customizing basically. Then over here, again, just a bunch of storage, a few comics, a few video game books. We move over to here. This is probably the thing you most wanted to see, and it's pretty much what is my view look like. So this is basically what I see when I'm recording. I sit back here, and now I've got the 4 monitors set up. 3 are for the PC. This is used predominantly for chat. So when I'm streaming, it's very convenient to have the portrait mode going that way for that particular monitor. Then you've got the 2 main monitors for the computer itself. Over here, this monitor just basically connects to either the Xbox One, the PlayStation 4, or the Switch. By the way, I did get this thing just a couple days ago. It's actually really convenient. It's like, I guess like a carrying case for Switch games. So takes up barely any room, and you can keep like however many games that are in there. I think 16 or something like that, 12, something along those lines. So that's kind of the console setup. That connects to the Elgato capture card, which again, I should give a shout out to these lovely folks from Elgato. And man, oh man, I've used Elgato products for a very long time. And I know this sounds like a commercial. It isn't. I'm just being upfront with the fact that it did send me a Stream Deck as well as a brand new capture card, which is inside there, so I can't really showcase that. But the cool thing about the Stream Deck, first of all, I thought that this thing would only be useful for streaming, and it is extremely useful for streaming because you're able to change different scenes and basically pop up different effects. It's very, very useful in that sense. But the cool thing is that, for example, I just wanted to showcase this to you. So if you want to go on ahead, like I just set up some random websites up here. If you press on the eBay button, boom shakalaka, you got eBay popping up. How cool is that? So you can have different shortcuts, and you can set this up to do a whole lot of different things, and that's really what I've been figuring out as of late, is what else it does. So shout out to the lovely folks over at Elgato. Thank you guys so very much for the Stream Deck, and thank you for the capture card that has been installed and improved the gameplay. Now, outside of that, I did also go on ahead and actually buy these lights, which I don't really want to film because they're so bright. But these are also Elgato lights, and they also connect to the Stream Deck, which is super cool. And these ones they actually did not send me, so I just bought those. They're called key lights, I believe, and I think they have another one, Air Key or something like that, which is like a smaller design. So look into it if you guys are interested. That's just the interface for the audio, keyboard, mouse. I think well, actually I don't know if I'm using the same mouse and keyboard. If I'm not, that's a Corsair gaming keyboard and a Logitech mouse. So there you go. Over here we got a cool little canvas, again, some little designs that I was gifted by some fans, so that's pretty cool. And then over here we've got just storage. That's basically where the PlayStation VR helmet is, along with the controllers and such, and a few games. You can see, I think, Lego DC Supervillains, I think the case right there. And then you've got comics across this area. I do have a few more comics, but some of them are in storage just because they couldn't really fit here. So that is the display there. You've got a few more figurines. That's another set of Blitzbots, again, customs, that I'd like to display. So that's why those are showcased there. And then these here were just basically a way to not have just a plain wall and make it really boring. So I just basically got a bunch of my favorite comic book covers printed out, and or on like it's almost like photograph paper kind of. So I have a bunch of other ones, and I just kind of rotate them in and out so that they don't get boring and you get different designs all throughout. So with that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that is the setup. You guys wanted to see the setup. It is now been set up, I guess, or showcased. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the showcase. If you did, please don't forget to go on ahead and hit that like button. Thank you guys so very much for your support. Seriously, it's absolutely crazy that we are here at 2 million subscribers. Thank you for taking the time. And of course, I do hope to get you guys here next time. Peace.